Hello there and welcome to this Literacy Shared Adobe Express challenge. In this tutorial, we're going to learn how to make a character profile based on the film Eye of the Storm. Now, if you need free Adobe Express for Education accounts for your school, just follow the link that's at the bottom of your screen right now. And there you can also see all of the other free things that we do for schools, like live lessons, teacher training, and lesson packs. Right, let's get on with the challenge. For our character profile, click on Create a Poster on the Adobe Express homepage, and it'll open up the all-in-one editor. Let's start off with our background. So click on Elements on the left-hand side, and then scroll over to the Backgrounds tab, and search for any kind of background that you like. I'm going to search for a watercolor theme. Scroll through and pick a background that suits the theme of your film. Next, let's add a title. So click on Text on the left-hand side, add your text and type in Character Profile. Then go ahead and find a font that you like and set a fill color by choosing a color from your background. To do this, I click on Fill here, and then I use the eyedropper tool from the color picker, and then I can just click on any color that I've got here on my page, and it's set that font to that color. Now, to make it stand off the page a bit more, let's bring up the outline thickness as well a little bit, and let's just change that to a black outline. There we go, that's great. Okay, let's move on to the squares for our 6 facts. So click on Elements on the left-hand side and scroll all the way over to Shapes. And we're going to search in the rectangles. Just scroll over here and I'm going to grab this one that's got an outline. Now I don't want that grey fill in the middle, so I'm going to click on that square, and where it says fill on the left hand side here, I'm going to click and choose no fill. There we go, that's great. Right, now then I'm going to need 3 of these across, so that square looks a bit big as it is. So just resize it, and you're going to have to kind of guess how big that's going to need to be if we're going to fit 3 of them. There we go, something like that, I think. And you can see the pink guidelines are helping me to place that right in the center. Now then, let's duplicate that square and move the new square over to the right-hand side. Duplicate again and bring this over to the left-hand side. And you can see those pink guidelines are still helping me to keep everything nice and lined up. Okay, so I'm duplicating again, and I'm doing the bottom row. And just be careful, make sure that you line these up so that you've got a nice, tidy grid of 6 squares. I'm keeping a space at the bottom because I'm going to need some text in there. Finally, I'm going to duplicate one more time, and this square I'm going to bring up to the top right-hand corner of the page under the title. And I'm actually then going to change it to be a rectangle like that for the character's kind of profile picture. Oh, I do need to keep a bit of space there for text. So let me just resize things a bit. And there we go. Hi there, hope you're having fun. Just a quick interruption to say, teachers, if you'd like a PDF mapping these skills to the NCCE Teach Computing curriculum, just follow the link that's at the bottom of the screen now, and we'll send that over to you. Okay, let's get back onto it. Right, now then, let's add the next pieces of text. So I'm going to click on Text, add your text once again. And here, first of all, I'm going to put the name of the film. So film, colon, next line, and then put the name of your film. For this one, it's Eye of the Storm. Now I'm going to align this to the left, so click here on the alignment button, and let's align to the left. Great, and let's bring this up to the top left-hand corner, and I'm just going to resize it simply so that it fits there next to my frame there. Great, now then, let's add a shape to this text box. So scroll down, and you'll see shape down there. Click on shape, and you can choose from all of these different shape designs. You've got the basic shapes here, and then you've also got decorative shapes lower down. I like this kind of rough looking paper shape. I like that, but I don't like that yellow color that it's given me. So what I'm going to do is, similar again, I'm going to click on the settings toggle for this shape, and you can see it says shape fill. So let's choose a color from our background again, but you can see that maybe that's a bit too subtle for you. I mean, I do quite like that color, but you'll see that once you've chosen a color, Express will give you some recommended colors that tone nicely with that colour that you picked originally. And you'll usually find that one of these will be a great option. Here you go, I'm going to go with this one, I think. Now then, that film word I think is a bit too bold. So let's find a lighter version of this font. So sometimes you'll find a lighter version actually in this drop down for the font family. Or sometimes, like with this one, Oswald, there'll be another font with a similar name. So I'll choose Oswald. And you can see I've now got this font family for it. And I'll go for regular there. Yeah, that's great because it makes the name of the film stand out better. Right, I'm going to duplicate this text box now by clicking on it, clicking on the 3 dots, the More button, and choosing Duplicate. There we go, bring that down. And now I'm going to change the word film to character, and then I'm going to change the Eye of the Storm to the name of my character. Now, in this instance, I don't know the name of my mysterious main character, so I'll just name him the Pilot. There we go. That's our main text set up. Now then, let's duplicate that again. Duplicate. And I'm going to get rid of this lower line and just keep the upper line in that lighter font. Now then, this is where I'm going to be describing the things that I've learned about my character. And we're going to have one each for each one of these 6 boxes. So make sure that the font size is small enough so that they don't bash into each other. There we go, just something like this. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to duplicate this 5 times so that I've got one for each box. There we go, I've got my text boxes all set up, ready to go. Now then, let's change the text in each box to the different descriptions or things we've found out about your character. And there we go. We've got all of our descriptions there ready to go. Now then, I'd like a kind of rough paper-looking background to these to tie in with that watercolor theme I've got in the background. So I'm going to click on Elements, and under Design Assets, I'm going to search for Torn Paper, and I'm going to find a square one that fits in my frame. This one's great. So I'm going to pop that into my first box there, just nearly filling the box. And when you're happy with that, I'm then going to duplicate this into each one of the other 6 boxes. Then I'm going to search for more of a rectangular looking piece of torn paper that I can pop in that box at the top. That one looks perfect. That's great. Let's bring that in. Now, if you can't find one that's the right shape, you could always use the square one and just crop it. You can crop any image by using these long handles on the sides or at the bottom. There we go. I've got my paper background for each image box ready to go. It's time for us to start filling these boxes with images. So you can use a combination now of image search within Express or producing AI text to image for the things that maybe are more difficult to get hold of. Let's find some of the easy ones first. For example, I'm sure there'll be an image of a spyglass somewhere. Now you could go into Media and Photos, or you could go into Elements and search Design Assets. Or if you just want to search everything in Express, you can click on the magnifying glass here, the search button. And in here, I'm just going to search for spyglass. And it'll show me anything that's relevant. So it'll show me photos, backgrounds, design assets, icons, as you can see, even video clips. So let's just have a look at photos. What's it found for me? There we go. This one is perfect. Kind of a steampunk looking spyglass there. So I'm going to bring that in. And I'm going to crop this spyglass to a circle shape by clicking on crop and then choosing the circle shape here. There we go. And you can frame up your image within the crop frame if you want to. Usually it'll be pretty okay once you click it anyway. And then I'm just going to resize that down and pop it onto the paper in the frame. Cool. Right, let's do the same. Go to search, and I'm going to search this time for airship. And then I'll just scroll through this one is absolutely perfect. That's really similar to the one in the film. There it is. And I'm going to click on crop to a circle, perfect, shrink it down and pop it into its box there. Right, so I'm just going to go through now and find maybe a wooden box, an old map. There we go. Now, I think I'm going to have some trouble finding a photo of a dragon, and I don't think I'll be able to find that kind of glowing green liquid that we see in the film, The Eye of the Storm. And I don't think I'm going to find really a kind of steampunk pilot either. So for those last three, I'm going to be using AI text to image. So click on Media on the left-hand side, and then under the Photos tab, click on Text to Image. Now, I'm going to be needing a square image here that I'll crop to a circle, so that's perfect. And the first thing I'm going to search for is just dragon. Now, this film, The Eye of the Storm, has definitely got some kind of steampunk theme going on. So I'll just go for movements here and tick steampunk. It's always worth you just scrolling through these different style options to see if there's something there that'll bring you closer to the mood of the film that you're describing. Right, I've clicked on Generate, and let's see the 4 dragons that Express produces for me. I've got 4 great options here, and you can see the steampunk styling on there. That's really cool. I like this one the best, so I'm going to click on that. And just as I can do then with any other image, once I click on the X on the text to image panel, it just takes me back to this normal image editing panel where I can crop it to a circle, just like any other photo or image that I've found. Right, let's follow the same process now, and I'm going to produce a steampunk image of a glass bottle of glowing green liquid. Well, all 4 of those images look absolutely incredible. I love them. So I'll go with this one. I really like the kind of design on that bottle. And once again, I close the text to image panel down, and that takes me back to the image editing panel where I can just crop that to a circle and pop it into its square. And now we're on to our final image, the image of the character himself. So you could maybe upload something that you've drawn, if you've drawn something, or you can search for photos, or in this case, I'm going to be using the AI text image once again. So I'm going to click on text to image. This time I'll be using a portrait image size to fit in that box that I've got. Now then, let's type in the description. There's my description of the character in the film, and once again I'm definitely going to go to movements here and tick steampunk because that really matches up. I'm going to click generate, and let's see what Express comes up with. Well, these look great. I'm going to choose one of these, and that's going to add that to my page. I'm going to close down the text to image window, just resize my character's headshot onto there. Now for this one, I'm going to remove the background using the friendly dog here. Now you can remove the background on an AI text to image generated image just as easily as you can with a photograph. And to make the edges of this image neater in my frame, I'm going to crop it. Now I'm not cropping to a circle this time because I've obviously got this kind of rectangle shape. So let's just crop to this tall oval instead. There we go. And that looks nice and tidy there. Now you could adjust that because I don't really want to crop the top of his head off. So I could just adjust that like that. And you can play around with the cropping to see what works best for you. But there's my character profile for the pilot from Eye of the Storm, all done. Now then, I need to save this, so I can just click in the top left-hand corner and give it a suitable title. Now then, to share this, you could click on share and you can choose a view only link, and that'll produce a URL, a link that anybody can click on and come and see a wonderful design. Or otherwise, you can click on the download icon, choose PNG if you'd like a digital copy of this, or PDF if you'd prefer to print it out on paper. Thanks for joining along with this activity. I hope you've had fun, and we'll see you on another one soon. Bye for now.